Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today I want to talk about, well, World Boss Invasion, because it's a game mode that I really enjoyed when it came out, and I've still enjoyed it till now, and I really don't have anything bad to say about World Boss Invasion. I still play it from time to time. It's still one of the, if not the best game mode to grind bios, random bios, to collect to get characters to level 70, and it also has, especially if you get lucky with different colored chests, it has a very good, energy to gold ratio to grind out more resources. But let's be honest, World Boss Invasion has not really changed in probably close to 2 years now, and it's a game mode that I think, like other game modes in this game, I will say is lacking a lot of imagination and creativity, and has tons of opportunity and tons of potential to be amazing. I think World Boss Invasion is level 60 right now, and it could definitely be level 70 gear 25, if not tier 3. So I'm gonna give you guys a couple of examples of things that I think they could apply to World Boss Invasion to make it much more amazing, and I'll also show you some big anime boobies when I show you guys another game that I used to play called Darkness Rises, and I'll give you an example of the way that they tackle this sort of game mode, which I think Netmarble could learn a lot from, or they could straight up just copy it in a way that suits Marvel Future Fight. So World Boss Invasion, you know, it has some aspects that are good. It has obviously the co-op aspect, which I think is super important. I don't want to take that away. I don't want it to be a single player campaign type thing, and I think it's really awesome that the number of kills equates the rewards that you get. So, you know, there is, if there were fewer players, there would be more of a community force to get those kills down, especially if you're really close on a specific day, because if you don't get it, you have to try again on the next day, and if you don't get it on the next day, it keeps going. Obviously, we have way more than 10,000 kills, super easy, but that would be an issue if they had, let's say, bumped up the number, for example, to 100,000 or a million kills, and also if the player base was smaller. So there is a lot of already built-in social interaction, and there is, on top of that, the co-op mission. Now, I know we complain a lot about some of the co-op missions because some of them are really stupid, like whenever it says more than, or whenever it says less than 3 combat types, it's very easy for players to grief each other, and griefing is basically they'll intentionally bring 3 combat types in, so that's more than likely guaranteeing that the whole team of 9, well, 3 players but 9 characters are going to fail this co-op mission. Or when it has something like press the co-op button at least once, that shows another problem. When you have to press the co-op button at least once, and as you saw from that clear, I killed that boss in less than 5 seconds, there's no time to press the co-op button unless you and the other 2 people coordinate, stand still, and not press your skills and just press the co-op button. That's pretty much the only way you can do it. Or as a higher level player like me, you have to hope that you're paired up with 2, you know, extremely new players who do no damage, and then you can hopefully spam the co-op button until they understand what to do. But again, it's these sorts of forced interactions that don't make sense given the rest of the World Boss Invasion. And what I mean by the rest of the World Boss Invasion is there's only one way to play World Boss Invasion. You select your character, and I like to go through the team bonuses because it just looks cuter this way, and you just go into it. And you're just randomly matched up with the first 2 other people that I guess are nearby you, which is cool because it reduces your ping and it reduces lag, hopefully, and things like disconnecting. But that's basically all you can do. You can't invite your friends, you can't invite your alliance members, you can't open up a party and wait for people to join. So obviously, just basing that example and that sort of method on others in the game, like we have co-op, which is an older game mode than World Boss Invasion. Co-op came out before World Boss Invasion, and then Giant Boss Raid, which came out after World Boss Invasion. Giant Boss Raid came out less than a year ago. Both of those allow you to create your own party, and both of those allow you to invite your alliance members. So it's really bizarre to me that World Boss Invasion hasn't received an update to at least add that in as an additional feature. Just that one feature would honestly make World Boss Invasion a lot easier and a lot less frustrating for those particular days when it's like bring less than 3 universals, bring less than 3 speed types, you know, press the co-op button at least once. Because then you'll know, okay, you know what, I really need to get these co-op rewards, you know, I really want to get these obelisks and whatever, I'm going to play with my alliance members and we're going to grind out these rewards. But the way that it is now, you're randomly paired up with people, and that brings out the worst in the community because You get randomly paired up with people who don't understand what they're doing. You get randomly paired up with people who are bots or whatever, and they don't follow the rules, and you just get screwed over and you lose the co-op reward, and then you either lose that chance to get the co-op reward, or you have to force close your game. You have to try again, force close your game, try again, and it's really, really frustrating. So there's a couple of things, there's a few things that I think Netmarble could do in addition to simply just adding the opportunity, adding the option of creating your own match, just like they do in Giant Boss Raid. You can do quick start, or you can create your own lobby, and then giving you the option to, well, this is taking forever, but sure, create my own lobby, and then the chance to invite your alliance members. These two should be kind of a no-brainer. But on top of that, I think there's a lot more room for growth in World Boss Invasion. So I think the first thing that World Boss Invasion should do, and I think this is probably one of the most important ones, is update the difficulty. Now, I don't think they should tweak the base difficulty, because it's actually pretty nice as a challenge. Sorry, there's lightning and thunder. It's pretty nice as a challenge for new players, and also can still be a challenge for intermediate players. So I think they should keep the base difficulty as it is, with the Black Order week and then the Asgardian week, but then they should introduce another mode of World Boss Invasion called like Extreme Mode or World Boss Invasion Ultimate, whatever they want to call it. And then you can basically choose which one you want to do. So obviously all veterans are going to switch on, and it could just be a switch that you press here and the background just turns like red, you know, just to indicate that you're in the extreme mode, you're in the ultimate mode. And otherwise it would play exactly the same, except the boss would have, you know, 10 or 50 times more health, and you'd actually have to take things more seriously. In addition to that, it would be logical to improve the rewards for extreme mode or ultimate World Boss Invasion. But, you know, I can't really I'm not going to hold my breath and expect Netmarble to do that. But that is another option. Additionally, they could do something where they instead of having that, they intentionally have damage or difficulty scaling, and so that would work the same way that World Boss Ultimate works now. Instead of having two modes, World Boss Invasion that we know now, and then a World Boss Invasion Ultimate, you would just have World Boss Invasion. But once you zone in, once you choose the fight, okay, I'm fighting against Call Obsidian today. From here, you could tweak how difficult. Are you going to do the stage 1 World Boss Invasion Black Dwarf, or are you going to do the stage 10 or 20, let's say, of World Boss Invasion Black Dwarf? And that would not only scale the difficulty, but it would also scale the rewards, and then you would only be paired up with other people who are intentionally choosing that more difficult stage. So now I want to give you guys the example of a different game. There's no sounds here, but the different game that I want to show you guys, and here's the big anime boobies, is called Darkness Rises. And this is my character that I played like months ago. I stopped playing, so it's fairly weak now, but I did play for a while, and I was actually having a lot of fun, in particular in the co-op modes down here at the bottom. So if you go over to the co-op modes, they actually have 3 different right now. I had never played Immortal Raid, but they had Duo Dungeon and Raid. Now, Duo Dungeon is very fun, and I would love to see Netmarble and Marvel Future Fight do something like that. You basically enter a 3 or 4 stage wave mode with one other player, and you get to collect rewards, and you can invite people, or you can quick join, or you can create a party, and you get first clear rewards, and you get recurring rewards for doing specific tasks. And so that's the model essentially, but it's called Raid. And so with Raid, you pair up with 2 or 3 more people, and you get to choose your difficulty before you begin. So this is obviously the easiest one. It tells you the recommended power, and this is pretty similar to Marvel Future Fight, where they have the kind of growth score, and then it tells you what your power is, and you can scale it up all the way to, in this case, level 18. And while there are different bosses, it's just 4 bosses or 3 bosses that rotate in terms of the difficulty and in terms of who they are. So there's really not that much to it. Netmarble could just do, you know, all the odd numbers are Black Dwarf and all the even numbers are Call Obsidian, because they have the uniforms for the Black Order. Or they could do something totally different, and they could introduce they could like mix and match the Asgardians with the Black Order and just have it doing 1 week. But this way, it not only helps players to understand, okay, I'm at this level and I'm working up to this level, but it also segregates players into the right place so that you're not paired up with players who don't know what the hell they're doing, and you want to be doing like a level 10 raid or a level 10 World Boss Invasion, and they're trying to do this level 1 raid. Additionally, the reward structures, I think, are really, really smart. So you have these first clear rewards, which are just pretty straightforward, but these are rewards that are unique to you. So rather than them being co-op rewards, rewards like World Boss Invasion, where you have to do it with your teammates. These are just rewards that you have to do, and there's 2 difficulties in terms of how difficult the rewards are. And you can look at this kind of like the normal legendary battle and the epic or the extreme mode legendary battle, which is a lot more difficult. You know, clear it without taking more than 1,000 damage, clear it without taking 900 damage. So there's obviously a pretty big difference there. It's like 400 damage, defeat it within 130 seconds, defeat it within 80 seconds. So on top of that, they have recurring kill rewards, and these are just rewards that you get just for beating the stage. That would be like your World Boss Invasion box. So this would be a really easy thing for them to implement, I think. I don't want to say it's too easy, but I think that it would be something that not only is rewarding for the fans, but something that is fun, and something that would, you know, revive this game mode and make it more interesting. Additionally, I think that they should look into segregating the rewards. And what I mean by that is, instead of having a box that has a certain set of rewards, by the way, the box's rewards haven't been updated in years. So there are tons of biometrics that you should be able to get, like let's say Minerva or Human Torch, and you don't get them from these boxes because they've never been updated. And also, you know, you don't get any new materials that have been released. So maybe we can get type enhancement kits or anything else. No, none of that stuff is going to exist in these boxes. So that would be updating the rewards list is one obvious, you know, thing that they should do. But segregating the rewards, having different rewards on different days, I think is a really powerful encouragement tool for players. And so players can save up energy, let's say, for example, and, you know, okay, on Corvus Day, it's going to be dropping a lot of comic cards. I want to get lots of comic cards. I'm going to play that day, but I don't want to spend all my energy or whatever. Maybe you have a certain number of attempts per week. So you can use all your attempts on one week, or you can use them evenly. You know, on this day, they're going to be dropping a lot of black antimatter. I really need black antimatter to level up or to max out my Quicksilver. I'm going to be playing this stage non-stop on that day. And then furthermore, for them to monetize this thing, for them to actually make money off of it, because again, they're producing this content, they have to create something that will allow whales to get an advantage, and that, you know, requires some sort of spending. They could allow you to refresh characters. Once you've used the characters, obviously they go into like the gray zone down here at the bottom, and then you can't use them until the next day. Well, they could change that until you can't use the characters, let's say, until the next day, or let's say you can't use the characters again till the end of the week, but you could pay, let's say, you know, 25 crystals per character or whatever, in order to revive them, and then you can use them again. So characters who are very strong for a particular day can be reused over and over again, or players who don't have many characters but really need those valuable resources, they can make a judgment call. Do I want to save these crystals up for a uniform, or do I want to spend them now to get these particular rewards? And that's why segregating the rewards makes more sense, because if you're going to charge a premium currency like crystals, and you're going to try to get crystals out of the player base like that, you should focus down the rewards better so that players know what they're going to be spending it on. So you're not just refreshing characters. It's like, you know, spending crystals to open these boxes. Why would you ever do this? It makes no sense, because the rewards you're going to get are random. So you might need bios, but you might pop this for crystals and not even get biometrics. But if you segregated the rewards, if you divided them up and you said, okay, this Thanos day is only going to drop biometrics, people would go fucking nuts for that shit, and they would be spending crystals left and right because they're trying to get these characters, rush these characters to level 70, for example, or maybe they're hoping to get specific bios to rank up specific characters. On top of that, this is just kind of spitballing at this point because the police are outside. They could also have specific characters being highlighted on specific days, and this would kind of harken back a little bit to Shadowland, but you could have, let's say, for example, Proxima's Day. If you're using one of the defenders, you get a bonus reward, whatever the bonus reward may be, or perhaps you get some sort of damage buff so that it's easier for you to clear the stage. So instead of doing a stage 5 Proxima World Boss Invasion, you can push up to a stage 6 because all the defenders have a 200% attack increase, a 200% defense increase, and a 200% HP increase. That's obviously a ridiculous number, but it would apply to a very small number of characters, so it would only equal a very small number of clears. or you could have it just, you know, maxed out at certain number of clears per day. So you could say, okay, on this Corvus day, if you're going to use any of the Avengers, you're going to get a huge bonus, but that bonus is only going to be active for the first 3 clears that you do with those characters on your team. So there's a ton of different things that they can do. There's a ton of new material they can introduce to World Boss Invasion. But even if they don't want to do that, even if they want to keep World Boss Invasion exactly the way that it is now, there's basically 3 really easy quality of life changes that they could make that would make World Boss Invasion a lot more fun for everyone. Allowing you to invite your alliance members, allowing you to make a party so that you don't get paired up with random people who don't know what they're doing, and then updating the rewards in the boxes so that we can get some of these new non-premium biometrics like Goliath bios or whatever. And so that we can get some of the other items that are in the game now that we just can't otherwise pull from the chest, because pretty much everything else in the game at the time that World Boss Invasion was introduced was available. You can even get Black Antimatter and Chaos Nordstones if you pull a legendary or mythic chest, believe it or not. But everything since those 2 items were introduced has never been added to this. So with that being said, I personally really like World Boss Invasion, and I still have days where I just want to play it like crazy and I just want to open up a bunch of boxes. I don't even want to get into the sort of loot box opportunity that Netmarble has here, because they have one, and if they spiced up the opening animation and they added some potentially super rare items, if they added CTPs or P cards, maybe people would spend crystals popping these all day long, hoping to get some crazy reward. I don't want to give them the sort of Sith version of the ideas that I have in my head. I just tried to stay on the light side and give them the Jedi version, but really, if I can pull ideas from a game like Darkness Rises that's been out for a while but not nearly as long as Marvel Future Fight, and they're doing things well with co-op game modes, I'm sure that the people, the devs at Netmarble, the devs at Marvel Future Fight can figure out a way, multiple ways, to really spice up this game mode. So let me know what you guys think of World Boss Invasion. Hit me up in the comments down below if you like my ideas or not, and why. Subscribe if you enjoy the content and you want to support me, and of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.